Good afternoon everybody. I am Manish Vohra. I welcome you all to this another edition of Clad exam preparation. We were covering this exam and we have covered question number 35 in the last session. So I am quickly moving on to question number 36. So question 36, it says a coercion dot indicates that. So write down your answers. The correct answer for this is C. A data buffer is created to handle data conversion. Coercion dot means that there is some data conversion. Question 37. Which combination of words correctly completes the following statement? Unlike dash property nodes require dash as inputs in order to function correctly. Write down your answers. The correct answer for this is unlike implicit property nodes, explicit property nodes require data control references as inputs in order to function correctly. So first is implicit, second is explicit, third dash is control references. So the correct answer for this is D. Let's check the answers. So the correct answer is D. For 37, the correct answer is D. Question 38. What is one disadvantage of using the state machine VI architecture? Write down your answers. The correct answer for this is B. If two state changes occur at the same time, only the first state change will be handled and the second will be lost. So this is the biggest disadvantage of using state machine VI architecture. For this we have to use something like queued state machines, or we have to use the producer consumer. Question 39. Which combination of words correctly completes the following statement? The dash indicates the total number of times the loop will execute, and the dash returns the number of times the loop has executed minus 1. Write down your answers. The correct answer for this is the count terminal indicates the total number of times loop will execute, and the iteration terminal returns the number of times the loop has executed minus 1. So the correct choice is first is count terminal and second is iteration terminal. So the correct choice is C, count terminal and iteration terminal. Let's check the answers. For 39, the correct answer is C. Question 40. Which statement best describes a LabVIEW project? .lv proj file. Write down your answers. Correct answer for this is a file that contains references to and provides organization for all files pertaining to an application. So LabVIEW itself, LabVIEW project itself is not a folder containing all the VIs. It is just containing the references in a file and provides the organization for all the files pertaining to a particular application project. Correct answer is D. So now let's move to the next exam. We have covered 3 exams up till now. Now we are shifting to the 4th exam. So first question in the 4th exam. For implementing state diagrams that allow future application scalability, the best choice for a base structure is. Write down your answers. So we are talking about the future application scalability. Means that the project may be increased or the project may be scalable. It can add more things, whatever is required, new codes, code additions, and so on. So the best choice for that structure which can accommodate future changes is. So the answer for this is case structure. Case structure is a very flexible structure. We can add n number of cases pertaining to more code addition, and it is also used in the state machine design architecture. Question 2. Clicking on dash button allows you to bypass a node in the block diagram without single stepping through the node. Write down your answers. The correct answer for this is step over. Let's check the answers. For question 2, the answer is B, which is step over. Question 3. Which of the following apply to property nodes? Write down your answers. So we have done a question like this before. All of the options for this are correct. So A, B, C, D, the answer for question 3. Let's check the answers. Question 3, A, B, C, D, all the options are correct. So property nodes can be used for updating the various values of the front panel objects. More than one property node can be used. They allow to change the attributes of front panel objects programmatically, and property nodes contained in the sub VI will cause the front panel of the sub VI to be loaded in memory. So all of these are correct. Question 4. You have a front panel control on a top level VI that you must control from within a sub VI. What must you pass to the sub VI? Write down your answers. There is a main VI and you want some control present on the main VI or top level VI to be controlled from a sub VI. So how can you do that? Write down your answers. The correct answer for this is by using the control reference. So when you use the control reference, you can manipulate the front panel objects. You have to pass the control reference of the front panel object which is present in the main VI, and this control reference can be used by the sub VI to manipulate the front panel control of the main VI. So let's check the answers. Question 4, answer is C, which is correct. Question 5. What value does the value out indicator display after the VI executes? This is a tricky question. Write down your answers. See, there is no count terminal. Count terminal is not wired. No value to the count terminal. And this is an empty array. Means there is no element in the array. This is a shift register. Values are shifting back. Iteration incremented by 1. So we see that in this particular for loop, the loop will not execute even once because the count terminal has not been wired, means it is 0, and empty array has been wired as a auto index tunnel. So this is also going to execute the loop 0 times, but this is wired to the shift register. So shift register value will be shifted and will be available at the value out. So the correct answer for this is C, 5. Let's check the answers. Correct answer is C. Question 6. You set a breakpoint in the code contained within the false case of a case structure. Will the execution pause if the code in the true case of the case structure is being executed? You have set the breakpoint in the code contained within the false case of the case structure. Write down your answers. Question 6. When you use a breakpoint, the execution stops, but the breakpoint is present in the false case. It is not present in the true case. So the correct answer is the execution will not stop. It will not pause. So the correct answer is B, no. Let's check the answers. The correct answer is B. Question 7. Which property node changes the text color attributes of any digital numeric control from a sub VI? Write down your answers. The correct answer for this is this choice, C, this one, this one. Next question, question 8. Which chart update mode should be used to show running data continuously scrolling from left to right across the chart? Scrolling left to right, data on the chart. Which chart update mode is used? Write down your answers. The correct answer for this is strip chart. Choice A. Let's see the answers. Question 8. Choice is A. Question 9. Which of the following does not conform to the data flow programming paradigm? Write down your answers. Shift registers, tunnels, sub-VIs, local variables. The correct answer is local variables. In local variables, data has to be passed wirelessly. There is no need to wire the things. So local variables do not conform to the data flow programming paradigm. Let's check the answers for question 9. D. Local variables. Question 10. If possible, the sequence structure should be replaced with the. Write down your answers. A sequence structure should be most comfortably be replaced with. The correct answer for this is state machine. State machine is a better architecture than a sequence structure. Sequence structure is a very hard structure and should be sparingly used. Question 11. Which of the following statements is true about following code segment? Write down your answers. So see that a false is connected for the conditional terminal. So this is stop if true conditional terminal. So false is connected. So this loop will never finish iterating. This will be infinite execution of the loop. So this loop has to be aborted. This loop once executed will not stop executing. It will go on executing infinitely. So the correct answer for this is the loop will execute infinitely and the program will have to be aborted. Correct choice is C. Question 12. Which equation is equivalent to the code? Write down your answers. This is simple data flow programming in LabVIEW. A and B added together and squared. Subtraction of C minus 1 and multiplication of A with the result and then under root. It's very simple. Correct answer for this is choice A. A into A plus B whole square minus C minus 1 and multiplied together and under the root. Let's check for the answers. 12 is choice A. Next question. A VI has automatic error handling enabled. It calls a sub VI that has automatic error handling disabled. The error out terminal of the sub VI is unwired in the calling VI. The sub VI returns an error to the calling VI. Will an error dialog be posted because of the automatic error handling? So in the main VI, the error handling is enabled, automatic error handling, and it contains a sub VI, and sub VI is called for which the automatic handling is disabled. The error out terminal of the sub VI is unwired in the calling VI, and the sub VI returns an error to the calling VI. Will an error dialog be posted because of the automatic error handling? So automatic error handling is enabled in the main VI. So whatever error is reported by the sub VI will be handled automatically. And since the error out terminal is not wired, so this is for sure automatically going to be handled. So the correct answer is yes, the error will be handled automatically. Now choose the correct options out of the 4. A and C cannot be there because no is written. B and D can be there. So out of B and D, which one is the correct option? The correct option is D. Yes, since the error out terminal from the sub VI is not wired in the calling VI. So that's why automatic handling of error would be done by LabVIEW. Question 14. Which of the following statements is false? A sub VI connector pane defines where to wire inputs and outputs. The color of a sub VI connector pane terminal matches the data type it is connected to. You must have an icon connector pane to use a sub VI. A sub VI can be edited from the functions palette. So all of the 3 statements said above, A, B, C, they are correct. But a sub VI can be edited from the icon and connector pane editing menu, not from the functions palette. So option D is correct option, which is false. Let's check the answers. 14th is D. Question 15. Which of the following cannot be used to transfer data? Write down your answers. Correct answer for this is semaphores. Semaphores is basically a locking mechanism to secure the data, not for transferring the data. Question 16. The error list shows all of the following except. Correct answer for this is error codes. Error codes are not shown by the error list. Whenever error happens, all of the 3 things above and other details are shown, but error codes are not shown. Next question. Auto indexing at loop boundary is a feature that allows more than one answer may be correct. So let's read the answers one by one. Arrays to be automatically traversed from one iteration to the next. This is correct. Array functions to be or to automatically index array elements. This is false. Functions that use array to automatically index them. This is false. Functions cannot index array elements. So B and C are false. Arrays to be automatically accumulated at the loop boundaries. This is correct. So A and D, they are the correct options. B and C are wrong. Let's check the answers. So A and D are correct. B and C are false. What is the output? Next question. What is the output of initialize array function after the following code has executed? Question 18. Write down your answers. So this is going to make an array whose dimension size is 4 elements, and each of the elements would be 3. So 4 elements, each element 3. Choice A is correct. 1D array. Next question. Which of the following will cause an event to be captured by LabVIEW event structure? Write down your answers. We have covered a similar question before. The correct answer is that when we click on the front panel on some control and change its value by the mouse click, only that event can be captured by the event structure. Other events such as value property via property node, value via control reference in the explicit property node or other things, and controls value via local variable, they will not generate such events which will be captured by the event structure. If you are going to use property node for changing the value and you want that the event generated will be captured by the event structure, then you have to use the value signaling property, not the value property. And so the correct option for this is that changing a front panel control via mouse click, option A, will cause an event will be captured by the LabVIEW event structure. Let's check the answers. For 19, the correct answer is A. Question 20. Which variable is commonly used to eliminate race conditions by preventing simultaneously access to code or data? Write down your answers. Correct answer for this is functional global variable. Choice A. FGV or functional global variable is specially designed in such a way that at one time you can only read the data and at another time you are only able to write the data. You cannot do the reading and writing continuously, and also the source would be one only, which would be writing the data from a particular location. No two sources will be able to write the data at a particular location simultaneously. Let's check the answers. Question 20, choice A, functional global variables. Question 21, what is the value in the shift register answer after the following code has executed. So shift register value after the execution of this code. The initial value of the shift register is 1. 1 multiplied by 2 gives 2, fed back. 2 into 2 gives 4, fed back. 4 into 2 gives 8, fed back. 8 into 2 gives 16, fed back. And 16 into 2 gives 32. Let me count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. So the correct answer is 32. Let's check the answers. 21 is C. Correct answer is 32. C. 1 will come, 2 multiplied by 1, 2, fed back, and similarly for other values. What is the result in sub-array after the following code has executed? Write down your answers. Index 3, length 4. So where is the index 3? 0, 1, 2, 3. Starting from 10, 4 elements. 10, 8, 5, 7. So the correct answer is 10, 8, 5, 7. Choice C. Let's check the results. 22 is C. Correct answer is C. Question 23. How do you document a VI so that the description appears in the show context help pop-up window? We have done this question before. It is use the VI properties documentation window. Which of the following terminals control how many times a for loop executes? Write down the answer for this. The correct answer is D, the loop count terminal. Question 25. Does this code snippet demonstrate an appropriate use of property node? Write down your answers. So this one is a very thoughtful question. You are using a property node to update the value of a string where wire can be directly connected. There is no need to use a property node in this case. Wire can be directly connected. Data is here, string is here, you can connect the wire directly. Why to use a property node? So the correct answer is no, because you should always wire data directly into the indicators when possible. Correct answer is C. (25) is C. Next question. Wait until next millisecond multiple function. Begins timing as a program start and completes upon a multiple of the PC timer. Begins timing after the code in the loop has completed and expires when the multiple of the user input times expire. Begins timing after the code in the loop has completed and expires when the user input time completes. Begins timing at the program start and waits until the code in the loop has completed. So write down your answers. The correct answer is begins timing at a program start and completes upon a multiple of PC timer. Let's check the answers. 26, correct answer is A. Next question. Which data synchronization mechanism ensures that no data is lost when application temporarily provides data faster than it is able to process? Write down your answers. The correct answer for this is queues. Queues buffer the data. So when supposingly the acquisition rate of the data is much faster than the processing rate, so we must use queues to buffer the data so that none of the data is lost. Let's check the answers. Question 27, answer is B, queues. So this is used in synchronization and communication. Question 28, which of the following statements is not valid? Write down your answers. You can make a cluster of clusters, this is possible. You can make an array of arrays, this is not possible. You can make a cluster of arrays, this is possible. You can make an array of clusters, this is also possible. So the wrong option is this is not valid. So answer B is the valid option for this question. Let's check the answers. 28 is B. Question 29, which data type is not accepted by case selector terminal on a case structure? Write down your answers. See, case structure takes values which can be strings, which can be integers, which can be enums. It cannot take double values. It can take single values. But arrays is a collection of data types. So they are not single values. So it cannot take arrays as the case selectors. So the correct answer for question 29 is A. Let's check the answers. Question 29, the correct answer is A. Question 30. How many bytes does LabVIEW write to the file when the code executes? So this is the code. This is open create replace file function. File is created. Then this two-dimensional array which contains 9 numbers as U8 numbers, unsigned 8-bit integers. So this array is written onto the file and then this file is closed. Also there is prepend array or string size. This is true. So how many bytes does LabVIEW write to the file when the code executes? Write down your answers. So the correct answer for this is 17 bytes. Now why? So each of these 8-bit integers will have 8 bytes. So 8 bits means 1 byte for each integer. So there are 9 integers. So 9 bytes of data would be used by this 2D array. 4 bytes would be used to define the first dimension of the array, and then 4 bytes would be used to define the second dimension of the array. So this would be used as a header file. So 4 bytes for the first dimension, 4 bytes for the second dimension, and 9 bytes for these elements. So total would be 17 bytes. Correct answer is 17 bytes. Let's check the answers. Question 30, the correct answer is D. Next question. Why is the sequence local terminal displayed as unassigned in frame 0 of the stacked sequence structure? So we are talking about this. This is not assigned. Why it is unassigned in frame 0? This is frame 0, this is frame 1, this is frame 2. This is sequence local and this is a stacked sequence structure. Write down your answers. See, when you are having a stacked sequence structure and the frames are in sequence, so this is the 0th frame, this is the first frame, this is the second frame. So value of 8 is generated in the first frame, it is not generated in the 0th frame. So when the value is not generated, how can the value be assigned in the 0th frame? Value of 8 is getting generated in the frame 1 and then it is assigned to the sequence local. That value is available in the frame 2 also and all the further frames which are after 2. But since it is not generated in the 0th frame, so no value is assigned over here. So the correct answer is the value is available only to frames after frame 1. So this is the correct answer. Let's check the answers. Question 31 is B. Justification. The sequence local is first written to in frame 1. Thus in frame 0 no data is available to read since no data has yet been written. Let's see question number 32. The wait function can be added to while loops. Write down your answers. Why a wait function is used in loops, particularly while loop? It is used in while loop because otherwise the CPU resources, full computing resources will be used by the loop itself. So to free up some resources, we introduce a default wait function in the loop so that processor time is available for completing the other tasks. So the correct answer is C, to allow the processor time to complete other tasks. Question 33. The data type of a ring can be of any of the allowable data types, whereas the numerical representation of the data type of an enum can be of the unassigned data type. True or false? So the correct answer for this is true. Enums can have only unassigned, can be only of U8 type, unsigned. U8, U16, U32, U64. Enums can be any of the unsigned data types, but rings can be of any data type. So the correct answer is true. Let's check the answers. So the correct answer is A, which is true. So this is the last question for today, 34th question. When the user clicks the button, how many times is the increment function called? So see, this is an event structure inside the while loop, and this event structure is having an event which is button, pane and mouse down, means clicking on the mouse and coming into the pane, mouse down on the pane. So these are two events on a single mouse down. So write down the answers. What will be the value of counter? So whatever be the value of counter, same will be the status of increment. How many times the increment will happen in this? Write down your answers. So whenever mouse down event happens, so it will click on the mouse down, it will click on the button with the mouse down. So one event is generated because of this button mouse down. The second event is generated because of the pane. So the second event will be queued, and then again it will increment once and twice. So 2 times it will increment and the counter will show 2, and the loop is terminated afterwards. So the correct answer for this is 2. Let's check the answers. Correct answer is C, which is 2. So I finished today's session. This was the last question for today. I am sitting here for 2 minutes. If you have any queries, you can ask for that. Okay, thank you so much for attending this session. I hope you have liked this session.